What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Gunfish TV. I want to thank you for tuning in to my channel today. I appreciate it very much. If you're not already subscribed, be sure to hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell as well so you do not miss out on any of my upcoming content. So on today's video, I wanted to go over something with y'all fairly quick, but something that I feel is very, very important. So we're right here almost in the middle of February. So we have late February and early March coming up. So we have the pre-spawn, and a lot of places like here, water is still in the low 40s. So always this time of year, I have 5 different baits tied on, and they are always on my deck. Now I have more rods and more baits on my deck right now because I've been fishing a little bit, but I have 5 that no matter where I go this time of year, I always have them on because they constantly produce when you get into February and early March when those water temps are still under 50 degrees. These are baits that I rely on heavily. So I'm going to go over them with you all, and hopefully this helps y'all catch some more bass. All right, so we're going to start off with one of the more consistent producers for this time of year, especially for me and for a ton of other people, and that is a flat side style crankbait. Now this is a Rapala DT6. This is a crankbait that I throw a ton this time of year, and today I have this orange crawl color tied on. I actually was throwing Demon earlier, which is a redder pattern, and then also red crawfish, but these style crankbaits in the color red absolutely produce this time of year. Even when the water is in the low 40s, the bass will absolutely crush these baits. I also have another one tied on right here, and this is actually on a spinning outfit, but this is a good old flat side CC shad right there. So that's more of a, shad wrap styled bait, and you can see it. This one does have some rattles in it, but this is a red crawl pattern, just an old school pattern. But that bad boy right there absolutely produces, along with a shad wrap style lure or a flat side crankbait. But those types of crankbaits are the ones you want to be throwing this time of year. Something with a flat side, kind of a tighter wobble, and that really triggers these cold water bass to bite. So let's go ahead and move on to the next one. All right, so up next we have the good old jerkbait. Okay, this is a Rapala X-Wrap. You can see the top of it. It has been absolutely eaten through the years, but this is one of my absolute go-to jerkbaits for this time of year. A good old X-Wrap. It runs, you can get it down about 4 to 6 foot, and this thing will flat out catch them. Also, you can see that I have it in the orange crawl pattern, or crawdad pattern is what it is from Rapala. But I throw a lot of different other jerkbaits as well. Strike Kings, 110s, a lot of different ones. It just depends on where you're at, whether you're going to be throwing a shad pattern or a crawl pattern. But here in the river, I like to be throwing something kind of red or orange. But no matter where I go this time of year, I'm going to have a jerkbait tied on. It produces, it puts fish in the boat, and when you get fish, especially out kind of suspended on points and all, and on flats, this bad boy will catch them. So that is my second bait that I always have on the deck. Let's move on to the third. All right, so as you can see, I'm not on the water anymore, but that's because my GoPro wanted to not record the clip where I was going over number 3, 4, and 5. So we're gonna go ahead and do that right now. So number 3 for me that I'm always gonna have on the deck is the good old spinnerbait. So this is a Booyah covert spinnerbait. And really for this time of year, I like to have a Colorado blade spinnerbait, and I really like to have a red or a orange kicker blade, as you can see on there. Most of the time I opt for a chartreuse and white or some variation of that, and then I change up my trailers, whether I have a swim bait or a grub. I have a grub on this one, but I change it up to kind of whatever I'm feeling for that particular day. But no matter what, this time of year, I'm going to have a spinnerbait, a double Colorado blade spinnerbait on the deck of my boat. Some people opt for a single blade. It's kind of a preference thing. I like the double bladed. And that thing is a producer. I've caught some really big fish this time of year on a spinnerbait, and no matter where I go, I'm going to have one of those on the deck. All right, so we're moving on to number 4, and that is a lipless crankbait. For me, this is an absolute producer. I've caught so many big fish and possibly more big fish on a lipless crankbait this time of year than any other lure. It is really, really good for when the fish push up on the flats, when the water's on a little bit of a warming trend, or if you have grass on your lake, when the fish push up in the grass, you know, this thing gets in it and you rip it out and you really get that good reaction bite. This particular one is a Booyah One Knocker in Rayburn Red. It's one of my absolute favorite ones, and I've caught a ton of fish on lipless crankbaits just through the years, whether it be a regular Bill Lewis rattle trap, a Cordell spot, whatever. These things will absolutely catch them. So no matter where I go, this is going to be on my deck as well. All right, so number 5 is going to be a good old jig. This is just a regular old 3/8 ounce black and blue jig with a mini scrub trailer on it. And this time of year, a jig absolutely produces. When that water's cold, it's in the 40s, they will absolutely eat it. The great big bass, I mean, they're just sitting down there, you know, they're kind of lethargic, and this thing comes by them and they say, well, I got me a big old meal. I'll go ahead and eat that and won't have to eat for a while. Doesn't have to expend much energy to get it. And they will just knock the fire out of that thing some days. So, you know, skipping docks, you know, when the water gets up in the 50s and all, those fish will push up shallow like if you're on a lake with docks. But in the rivers I fish, those fish will get up in those treetops, kind of deeper stuff and off some points, and they will absolutely knock a jig. Caught a lot of big fish through the years on it, and there's been a ton of giants caught on it through the years by a number of different fishermen. So no matter where I go, I'm going to have a jig and trailer. And I do like pork, and I think pork's on the rise again. I think somebody's going to start making it again soon, or Uncle Josh may make it now. But when it's really cold, I prefer pork. But a jig and a trailer, dragging it on the bottom slow, will absolutely catch them. No matter where I go, I'm going to have that on the deck. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed this video. I just wanted to stop fishing for a few minutes and share with you all what I always have on my deck. This time of year, no matter where I go fishing, I'm going to have those 5 lures tied on, and I'm probably going to throw them all at some point throughout the day unless a particular bite is just going off and they are absolutely chewing, you know, a crankbait. They might be on the jig bite, whatever. And then also, of course, a bite this time of year can change throughout the day as the water warms up. You know, if you have high sunny skies and it warms that water up on a nice day, you know, those fish might slide up and the bite might change a little bit. But I really hope you can take these tips and apply them out on the water, and maybe it'll catch you a big bass. So I really appreciate y'all watching. If you did, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you next time on Gunfish TV.